Welcome, guys, to Voice of UPSA. We are going to be interviewing Benson. And for those of you who don't know him, Benson was the 2024 MTN Business Challenge winner. He was also an SRC aspirant right here in UPSA. I'm going to get to know more about him, his life, his journey, like every single thing. So, Benson, welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, so for those of you who don't know you, if it's the first time they are seeing you, can you tell them more about yourself?
Okay. My name will be okay, right? Okay, so my name is Benson Sena Dumoga, a level 400 student of UPSA studying business administration. Yeah. I think that's a little you need to know about me.
Okay, so before we even continue the interview, I'd like to congratulate you on winning the
MTN PULSE Business Challenge.
The MTN PULSE Business Challenge. That's really impressive. And I think this is the third year that UPSA is winning consecutively, right?
Okay, so far with with a little knowledge I have, this is the third year.
Consecutively. That's actually impressive. What do you think stands out in UPSA that is able to produce, that makes them produce a lot of?
Okay, so you see, I think so far when we went for the program, especially after our pitching, and then we were asked to go back to the stage so that the audiences, is it the audience or whatever, can ask us questions. What happened was that whenever people ask business-related questions or financial-related questions, I realized that the other people who are not in UPSA are not able to tackle such questions very well. But then when it comes to the UPSA student, we were 4 who contested from UPSA. We are able to give every answer to whatever question in relation to finances, businesses. We are able to give such answers. So I think when it comes to business, knowledge in business, UPSA stands out, and then they also provide quality. Yeah, so that's one thing that I've seen.
Okay, that's very impressive. Now, can you tell us a bit or a synopsis about the idea you went, or the idea that you put on board?
Oh, okay. So actually, I think for the past 2 years, I've been in rice farming. One politician once said that if you want to become very poor, you should venture into farming. But then later on, when he was campaigning, he himself was like, he is going to, sustain farming. He's going to do everything possible that we produce our own foods in Ghana and then other things. But then, what he said early on discouraged me from going into farming. But then I think I sat down once again, and then I said, no, I don't need to become a president before changing things in my country. I can change things in my country, regardless, without me becoming president. Now, what do? I have quite a number of friends. I have a lot of friends. I ask them, what do you want to do in future, or what business do you want to do? Everyone says, I want to become a real estate businessman. I want to venture into real estate.
Yeah.
I want to venture into real estate.
Everyone wants to venture into real estate now.
I realized that, okay, fine, I think there's a lot of money in real estate. Yeah. But, I'm a type, I always want to stand out among my colleagues. I always want to be more unique, even in as much as we are all, created with unique features, but then I equally need to stand out among my colleagues. So I also sat down and I said, okay, fine. And I want to be unique. I want to stand out. I don't want to venture into real estate business. buildings. So I would also venture into farm estates. Okay. Someone may ask, what does a farm estate mean?
The farm.
Good. I want to venture into farm estate. Now, what does a farm estate mean? You see, farm estate, in my opinion and my understanding of it, because I believe I'm the one who brought out the word.
Right.
Yeah. So when you come to my farm in the next few years, okay, you are going to see maize, you are going to see rice, you are going to see cassava, you are going to see yam, you are going to see tomatoes. Every farm crop, you are going to see it over there. The only thing, so when you come to my farm, we will cook for you without buying anything outside apart from salt.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's impressive. But where did you have all this thoughts from? Where did you get the idea of this from?
I don't know. But then I think when I went to because my dad, we were born and then raised in Accra. But then it got to a time my dad wanted us to actually learn how to read and then write Ewe. Because I'm an Ewe, I'm a proud Voltarian. in as much as we can speak there, we were not able to write and then read. So we were sent to the Volta region to, complete our junior high school education over there. So I think when we went there, yeah, my mom was doing some small farming and then other things. So we're doing rice farming, maize farming, tomato farming. So I think I gained the experiences from there. And then you see, most people may go into farming because of the money over there. But then I am not going to farming because of the money necessarily. You know, when you farm, it reduces depression. It takes away depression. Now I'm going to explain that. Yes, it takes away depression because you see, you automatically become a parent, a mother to your crops. Okay, and now assuming you are doing fish farming, and then let's say your wife divorces you or your girlfriend leaves you. Now you just have to go to your fish pond, take a chair. The place is very cool. Take a chair, sit there, get a book and then read. It takes a while. You go to the fish, we get close to the fish pond. You see the way the fishes swimming,
yeah.
and then enjoying in the water. Now, far be it, you go to your tomatoes farm, you go to your maize farm, and then you look at the maize, how your maize is growing, how they started whenever you plant maize, within 3 days, you realize that it shoots up, okay? So you realize that within 3 days my maize has shot up. Now after 1 week you realize that the height has increased. After another week you realize that, and then you see the joy that comes alone takes away depression from you. Yeah. Do you get it? This is the main reason why I am going to farming. Now I may have several reasons of going into farming. Early on I said I don't need to be a president before helping my country, before making my country good. Okay. Now you see, Ghana has, a very big challenge. Okay, we are facing a very big challenge in Ghana. Now, our exports are always exceeding our import. And then now in Ghana, every single human being, as far as you are concerned to be a human being, we eat rice at least once in a week. Do you understand me?
I guess.
You can't tell me that the whole of this week or the whole of last week you didn't eat rice. Good.
True.
And rice has become one of the major foods that we eat in Ghana. Now, you realize that we import a lot of rice into the country than exporting rice. And then my little knowledge in economics and finance, whenever you import more things into the country or your import exceeds your export, we create what you call the balance of payment deficit. And then through the balance of payment deficit, it causes devaluation, okay? So it devalues our country's currency. Do you understand?
Yeah.
And now that is why the country's currency, the cedi, becomes becomes very weak. You get it? So all these things factor into it. That is why we are having unstable economy. So I sat down and then I make all this analysis and I said, no, I think I need to help my country in one way or the other. So the vision is to be the leading provider of Ghana's local foods, okay? And then we are going to provide every food that this country needs, and then we would also export some of our foods so that at least we can counter balance of payment deficit in this country.
Wow, that's actually very impressive, and I like the idea of it. I can't wait to see how it's all turn out.
Yeah, definitely.
That's really interesting. Now, you also contested for the SLC president just this year, and if it was someone different, they would have lost hope, especially to go for a different competition, especially when the time frame is very close. They'll feel like they'll just lose hope. They'll feel like once they're going for a competition, it brings back memories. So what kept you moving despite knowing that the first one wasn't too successful?
Every leader must have a vision. Every leader must know where he is going. Okay, good. Your vision should always keep you moving. And then what also strengthens you should be God. Do you understand me? Good. I have a vision to become someone in future. I have a vision to become this in future. I have a vision to become this. But then, once a failure is not a forever failure. You get it? So my vision keeps me moving. My vision keeps me moving. And the fact that I have failed today does not mean I would also what fail tomorrow. And then a failure today becomes what? A learning ground for you, okay, for your tomorrow. So if you fail today, it's like you have prepared the grounds for yourself. And then it's like a step ahead. Do you understand? You take
Yeah.
a step ahead. Your failure today gives you a step ahead. So when you have failed today, and then someone who is now new in the system has never failed before, you realize that in every step you guys take, you are always a step ahead of him or her. Do you get it? So your vision should always be your what? Your motivation. You should know where you are going. If you really know where you are going, then you should never be discouraged in this world, regardless how do you call it? Regardless the challenges that you face.
Wow, that's interesting. I'm actually very impressed with the fact that you took the mandate, because most of the time when some people fail these elections and sometimes they don't even come to class, they don't want anyone to see them. It's like their life just turns down. But I'm very impressed with the fact that you still stood up and you actually won. So I think it will be a lesson to everyone that once, something doesn't really go unsuccessful, like you said, it's just a learning ground, which is really, really, really impressive. Now, to someone looking at going for any business challenge like the MTN business challenge, or maybe any position, any leadership position, I believe these rules are universal, so everyone can practice them. What advice would you give to them, anyone going for any leadership position or a business challenge as well? So both of them, you can take any of them first and just kind of use it
Okay.
for us.
All right, sure. So you see, the first thing you need to learn is how to be determined. Okay, you just have to be determined in all your what, in all your dealings. If you are determined, you would go everywhere. But then there's one thing that most people think it doesn't work. God, it works. Before you do everything, make sure that what you pray, make sure you command favor from the face of God. If you command favor from the face of God, you would go everywhere. Far be it. Grace. When you have grace, through grace, you get favor. Wherever you go, you will be favored by men. If the grace of God is upon your life, you would always have what? Favor. And now you see, sometimes it's not that you failed, you lost elections, you did this business, it didn't work, you did that, it didn't work, things are not going on well. No. And then you feel like, no, you have God has forsaken you, or it's like God doesn't know you. There was a time in my life like that. I feel like, if truly, truly, truly there is God, God should, how do you call it? God should always be moving me forward. But then I feel like, no. Later on, I realized that there was something I wasn't doing. Okay, there was something I was. You don't need something before you go and seek the face of God. You should always seek the face of God. Because let's say tomorrow you have exams to write, then tonight you go that, God, please, I need you to help me pass my exams. No,
It doesn't work like
it doesn't
that.
work like that.
That's
You should always seek the face of God. Even before you write the exams, go and ask God, God, exams is approaching. Should I go and write it or not? Do you understand? And then listen to God. Listen to the voice of God. Let God tell you to do this before you do it. Let God tell you to do this before you do it. Do you understand? And then let also follow your convictions. God speaks through your convictions. Now, when I was going to for the business challenge, I didn't want to go because when I saw the money, I feel like, no, 10,000 is, something small. It will
Small.
finish within 1 week.
Yeah.
So I will not go.
And you are very rich. So if 10,000 is small to you,
No, far be that. So I feel like, no, 10,000. Yeah. Why should I go for a competition and then win 10,000? Anyways, maybe it comes with other packages as well. Good.
So at the end
and
of the day, the value is more than
interesting.
10,000.
Yes. The value is more than 10,000. But then I went on my knees. I prayed to God. God, please, if you think this is good for me, please let me know. But if you think it's not good for me, please let me know. If you think I will win, I will go and then I will not win, please let me know. So, God says what? Ezekiel chapter 12 verse 23. It says, tell them therefore, that saith the Lord, I will make this proverb to cease, and they shall no more use it as a proverb in Israel. But say unto them, the days are at hand, and the effect of every vision. Okay? For there shall be no more any vain vision nor flattering divination within the house of Israel. What this Bible verse is saying that, there is a particular proverb, oh, Benson dear, oh, Winnie, Benson dear, oh, Winnie. But then the Lord is saying that, see, tell them that the proverb that they have always been using against you, today it has been ceased. And there is going to be another proverb which he, the Lord, has established, which is what? Victory. Do you understand? So we prayed on this particular verse. And then a night before the grand finale, we went to the Lord, to the mountain of the Lord to command victory. Before going there, the next day, we commanded victory. So before we even got there, we knew that we were winning because we declared victory in the realms of the spirit before, going there. That is why God, the words of God are very what? Are very powerful. The words of God are very powerful. So everyone who needs, who wants to how to take any leadership position, you want to go for a challenge, seek the face of the Lord first, and then wait on the Lord. Wait on the Lord. There is a difference. There are dimensions in prayers. Okay, there is a difference between you going to pray and then making requests and then waiting on the Lord in prayers. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Ask yourself, when Moses went to the mountains for the new for the tablet of what? Of the 10 commandments. The Bible says he was there for how many days? 40 days. Ask yourself, was he just there eating and then sleeping? No, he was praying and then waiting on the Lord in the realms of the spirit. You get it? But then you can go pray 5 minutes. Lord, please, I want to win the MTN PULSE Business Challenge. And then you come back. Do you understand? But then there is a difference. Waiting on the Lord in prayers and then making a request in prayers. Wait on the Lord in prayers, and then the Lord will definitely answer you.
The Lord will definitely answer you, as Benson has said. And Benson, it's been a pleasure having you. This conversation has been very insightful, and I know my audience would learn a lot from what you said. Your final words to my audience, anything you want to share, maybe your handles, anything you'd want to add.
Okay, sure. So, resilience, determination, and the fear of God is a key. These things works together. If you fear God, you are resilient, you are determined, you will go anywhere that you want to go. Never forget about God in your equation. God should be the first variable you need to bring in your equation. Never and ever forget God. I have tried it and tested it, and it has been approved. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Benson. Thank you very much. Right. So, guys, make sure you follow Voice of UPS on Instagram, on TikTok, on Twitter, and of course on YouTube as well. And we'll see you in the next video. Bye.